Welcome back to the Movie Review Teacher, and today we are going to look at my top 4 movies for the month of January. Now, as January comes to a close, it's kind of time to look at what movies were good, what movies were bad, but we're really going to focus on the movies that I think you should watch if you have a chance to see them. Now, going into January, you always know that it's going to be a slow month. There are going to be a lot of times where the movies you want to see are later in the year or mid-year. And so January is typically slow, but making a list and looking at what I've seen so far, I have seen 24 movies so far this month, but some of those are part of Regal's unlimited plan with their classics. And so for me, it was just a time to see what was out there and just go to the movies. Now, we have had a lot of snow here in Indiana, and obviously that kind of dampers what I've been able to go and see. But I have seen 12 new releases this month, and we're going to get into my top 4 of the month of January. And if you have a chance to see these movies, I do recommend. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Go check out the reviews that I have posted for these movies, and stay tuned for more content as we go through the year. Now, coming in at number 4 is The Plague. I think The Plague is a movie that is just an interesting movie from beginning to end. I think the one critique that I had with the movie was the ending was not that great. It was built up as if something more important was going to happen. And unfortunately, the ending of the movie did kind of damper my overall feeling for it. But if you have not seen The Plague, it is based on a water polo camp. And you have a bunch of drama with teenage boys living in the dorms. And it creates this weird feeling. But it is a movie that, as you watch the story play out, you have enough time to sit down, enjoy what is on the screen, and you can buy into the characters that are being talked about. So if you have not seen The Plague, it did not get a long runtime in theaters. That is a movie you should see. At number 3, this is a movie that here locally in Indiana, it did a lot better than people imagined, and that is Dead Man's Wire. Now, this is based on real events in the 1970s when a man takes over a hostage or takes a hostage from a mortgage company that he feels has done him wrong. Now, as you watch this movie and you watch how it plays out on the screen, I think if you don't know much about the story, you have a chance to buy into it. It's enjoyable. You have a chance to understand what is taking place. But obviously, there are some aspects of the movie where you sit down and you wonder, how realistic is this in comparison to the actual events? Now, Bill Skarsgård, I think, did a great job in this movie. He made the character believable. The only comparison that you really have is taking what you see in the movie and looking at the YouTube clips or the videos of the coverage that was taking place. So as you watch Dead Man's Wire, you're going to see the two characters where there is some concern about the accuracy there because we really don't know the kind of intimate details of what took place in the apartment during that time. But what you have is you have the news coverage, you have the radio coverage, and I think it all brings to light the events that took place. So if you have not seen Dead Man's Wire, that is a movie that I do recommend that you see if you have a chance. Coming in at number 2, my number 2 favorite movie of the month of January is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Now, if you look at my review of 28 Years Later last year, I said that the movie was boring. There's too many missing plot points. There feels like there's so many different directions the movie wants to take you. But the way that the movie ended set up something that allowed you to sit down and enjoy The Bone Temple. Now, in The Bone Temple, I think they do a good job of allowing you to look at Dr. Kelson, look at his impact, but also Jimmy and the fingers. And so for me, I enjoyed the second movie a lot better than I did the first one, and that is why I recommend this movie. Now, I was talking to somebody at work the other day about this movie, how I thought it was better, and they were a little worried about whether or not it was actually going to be good because they felt the same way about the first 28 Years Later last year. But then on Thursday, when we returned to school, he told me that they went and seen it and they actually enjoyed the second movie a lot better. For me, the one thing I will give both of these movies credit for is they do a good job of setting up the ending to what is going to happen next. And so for me, when you're looking at a movie like this, you want to sit down and enjoy it. While it does take you in many different directions and adventures throughout the film, I think 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is one of the better movies of the early part of 2026. And I also think it is 150,000 times better, and that's a lot better than 28 Years Later that released last year. In number one for the month of January, I think it's kind of a recency bias, to be honest with you, because 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple could have been in this spot, but I think about the movies that I just seen recently, and that would be Send Help. I think Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams give a brilliant performance where you're watching a weird worker vibe, co-worker vibe with a boss and employee. There's a plane wreck, and that ultimately leads to chaos that is taking place on this island as they fight for survival. And I think Rachel McAdams, in my opinion, is the star of this movie because she is able to adapt her character as the film goes on, and it's believable. And when you're looking at a movie like this, you want it to be something that is believable, you can understand, and you can sit down and enjoy what is taking place on the screen. Now, it gives you the feeling of a suspenseful horror movie vibe, even though it's not scary from that perspective, but it's more of the unknown of what's going to happen. But I also think they do a good job of implementing the comedy aspect, and you get a chance to sit down and enjoy what is taking place. So these are my top movies of the month of January. Even though it was a slow month as usual, these four movies stood out. If you have a chance to see these movies, I do recommend you go and see them. But make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Go check out the reviews I have for all four movies below. And make sure to continue to support and watch the videos. Comment what you thought about the movie. Did you like them? Did you not like them? What would you add to this list? There's obviously some movies that could have been added. But these are my top four. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay warm, stay safe. Follow me on all the social media pages, and have a good rest of your day.